All right, so kind of, I expected that somebody would want some sort of a follow-up to one of the last videos that I made where I was kind of talking about taking action on things, and something that spiraled out of a conversation about motivated sellers, and question the idea of like, well, what the heck is a motivated seller, right? So we have people that have houses that want to sell their house, and what is, a motivated seller? And that means something different depending on what your business strategy and model is. I like John Martinez as a way where he talks about the idea of motivation. Motivation is really just, and he has a great way that he kind of goes through and explains it, but just the idea of the delta, the difference between where you are and where you want to go. Some people think of the idea of like, we'll use the example of motivated seller. To be a motivated seller, you've got to be in the worst of worst situations, right? And the reality is, to have some sort of level of motivation, you just have to you have to want to be somewhere different than where you are. And the idea of changing jobs, for example, you could have a guy that has $100,000 a year job that's moderately happy with where he's at. He's not necessarily the most motivated person in the world to change his job opportunity, but if he's going to change for $1 million, job where he gets to play ping pong all day long, he might become a motivated person to leave his job, right? And so, keeping that idea, this idea of motivation is a little bit subjective to people's situations and what their tolerance is for different things. In general, though, I like to take my motivated sellers and tell people that there's, three general categories that I like to kind of put people into, of some sort of, oftentimes we'll call it distress a little bit, that they're either in some sort of financial distress, have some sort of property distress, or personal distress, right? So some sort of motivation or distress that are in through there. In finances, sometimes those are obvious things, people that are, in bankruptcy or pre-foreclosure or foreclosure, 30, 60, 90-day lates, tax delinquents, those sort of things. We look for those things. Property distress, see the idea of like driving for dollars, looking through like, how old's the roof? How old are the windows? Is it in an area where, most people have central air, but you're seeing window units in through there? As there tarps, boarded up windows? There's different levels of property distress. Unkept yard work. Don't drive my house some days because I might look like a motivated seller. Where the yard work is kind of getting out of control. So again, maybe I just forgot to mow the lawn this week, or maybe I actually am, in a distressed situation where I'd be motivated to sell my house. Different levels engaging of motivation there. Personal distress or motivation, some sort of big life changes, and big life changes, the ones that we think of that could put somebody in a situation where you might actually be able to serve them. Again, we're not taking advantage of people. We're offering a service where we're able to help and give them a solution to what they need. But sometimes quick life circumstance changes are typically the ones that we're able to help out with most. Because there are some, like let's say if you have a baby, well, now my one bedroom apartment is no longer, my one bedroom house is no longer big enough, right? And so I need a bigger house. That is a personal situation that is changing my housing needs. However, babies aren't really, they might be made in a day, but they ain't delivered in a day, right? And so it takes 9 months to grow that baby. So I have 9 months to kind of think about and prepare for such a thing. Same thing with like downsizing a house. Somebody might want to downsize their house, but it's not always the biggest level of motivation. If I'm downsizing because my 3 kids just graduated from high school and are now out of the house, and I no longer need a 5-bedroom house, I've been planning for that, either dreading it or praying for it for the last 18 years, depending on which side of the fence you sit in. Maybe a little bit of both some days, but nonetheless, I've been planning that. So it's more of like quick personal changes, like sometimes a divorce, a loss of job, or moving because of a job. Sometimes it's a great thing. Like, shoot, I just got a promotion to a new city. However, I got to move in the next 30 days. Unfortunately, death of a loved one, sometimes inherited houses. So those big life changes are some of the reasons why we look at somebody and might put them in this category of a motivated seller, somebody where we're able to kind of get in and help them out with what their situation is. I'll probably just talk about it in another video, in the idea of different investment strategies based on what a house condition is, what a house value is, what a house equity marker may be, in different terms like that. So if you're liking these videos, give me a thumbs up, put in the comments any questions that you guys have, any topic that you'd like me to specifically focus on. Happy to make this about you guys and whatever I can most help you out with. So thanks again. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Stay strong out there.